meditation and mindfulness the same thing, or what's the difference if they're not? In this short video, I'll help out with the answer to this incredibly common question. Welcome. My name is Ian and I'm a meditation and mindfulness teacher, and over the course of the next 10 minutes I'll share with you how they're different and also how they're similar, and hence the common confusion. Before I answer this though, let's start from scratch and get back to the fundamental reason as to why someone might choose to be meditative or mindful. What we generally know is that none of us are in control of our thoughts. They rush into our awareness seemingly from nowhere and certainly not under any sort of control. If I say, for example, right now, try not to think of a pink elephant with yellow spots, chances are you've now got an image of a pink elephant with yellow spot in your mind's eye, and from there, who knows what thought happens next. Thinking about pink elephants when asked not to is, of course, quite harmless. But how often do we get a thought in our head that leads to another thought, and another, and another, and for some people, before they know it, they're in the land of doom and gloom, or some other place mentally they prefer not to be. This might manifest itself as fear, anxiety, stress, or even a limiting belief of some description. This may then lead to some action or behaviour that's just totally inappropriate or undesirable, and all because our thoughts spiralled out of control, albeit with our best intentions at heart. For now, back to these thought patterns. They generally seem to have a mind of their own, right? But what if there was something we could do about this? Something that gave us the practical skill of stopping this automatic downward thought spiral in its tracks. A skill that allowed us to recognise the thought for exactly what it is. It's something made up and imaginary. It's fleeting in its existence and soon to be replaced by another thought, just like clouds drifting across the sky. This is exactly the skill that meditation and mindfulness offers. The ability to be in control of your awareness, or at least the ability to take control of your awareness at a point of your choosing. Let's face it, we've all lived our lives to whatever age we are now, and maybe without this particular skill, and so our thought autopilot has had that many years to refine itself into the efficient machine that it is today. This means that we're up against a really formidable opponent if we're wanting to change things. So let's get back to the topic for this video and the key differences between meditation and mindfulness, and we'll start with meditation. Given its age and origins in the East, and the fact that it's linked to a wide variety of spiritual, religious and non-religious practices, it's not hard to imagine that there are many, many different definitions of meditation. I like to keep things simple and explain it like this. Firstly, you choose a focal point for your awareness, something to focus on, something easy to bring to your attention. Breathing, for example, the passage of your breath in and out it's a very popular choice. It's always present for you, and let's face it, if it isn't, you've got a bit more to worry about than whether you're in control of your thoughts or not. A flickering candle flame is another very popular choice, as is the sound of the ocean or nature. Simply anything that you can bring easily to your mind's eye is okay. And as you bring your attention to this point of focus, and the key thing is doing so without judgment, eventually your mind will wander. Now, the practice of meditation is to notice that your mind has wandered from your chosen focal point, and with compassion and an inner smile, just softly bring your attention back to this chosen focal point and start again. And when it next wanders, simply notice again and bring it back, and notice again and bring it back, and so on. And that's it. At a very basic level, that's all there is to it. So how hard can it be, right? Well, the truth is your thoughts autopilot doesn't like someone or something else being in control, and it will try every trick in the book to divert your attention. But meditation is simply being with this practice, choosing a focal point, and when your mind drifts, as it naturally will, with compassion, bring it back. So how is this different to mindfulness, you might be asking yourself? Well, mindfulness is a Western development, very recent, in the 1970s by Jon Kabat-Zinn, and it's all about being fully present with whatever's going on for you in the here and now. at each present moment without judgment, bringing your full sensory awareness to that present moment. And it's the point at which what's going on in your mind absolutely matches what's going on around you, and nothing more, nothing less. And as you might imagine, this also changes from moment to moment. What generally happens, though, is that we're rushing headlong through our day with one thing happening outside of our body and a whole myriad of uncontrolled things happening inside our heads. For example, how often do you drive somewhere and not recall one thing about the single journey? Take the simple act of walking from one place to another, from, say, a bus stop or a car park or a train station to an office or a store, a familiar route. What's going on in your head as you make this journey on foot? Chances are you'll be ignoring the vast majority of information around you, other than your awareness of staying safe and things that might be a high priority for you right now. Everything else just happens to get filtered out of your awareness, and your good old thought autopilot is in its absolute element. Instead, though, you could try to be fully present with this journey. You might notice the texture of your clothes on your body as you walk, the way the pressure and weight on each step moves from heel to toe, the sounds around you, the wind direction, the temperature, and so on and so on. And as you start to think about the meeting that you might be going to, or what you'll be having to eat later, or the consequences of this, that, and the other, simply be aware of this drift in your attention away from your present situation, and with compassion, let go of those other thoughts and bring your awareness right back to that present moment. Again, very simply, this is mindfulness, the open monitoring of your present circumstances without judgment. So the difference between the two then, the difference between meditation and mindfulness, is that in meditation you make a choice what you choose to be aware of at any point in time, and in mindfulness you're paying full attention only to that which relates to your present situation. And in both cases, the similarity is that your awareness is non-judgmental, and when your mind drifts, as it will, notice this drift and with compassion bring it back to whatever option you've chosen at that particular moment. So going back to where we started and figuring how might this help? Well, if you recall, we spoke about the out-of-control downward spiral of thinking that causes all manner of issues. You can see now that having this skill that allows you to break that chain of thinking, the skill of simply observing your thoughts, letting them go and choosing where to point your attention to, could be a big help. This is a very big topic for sure, and one we'll definitely be exploring in future videos, but for now I hope this distinction between a chosen focal point and open monitoring helps you to understand the key differences between meditation and mindfulness. Wishing you peace and happiness at this time until we virtually meet again. Thank you for watching and listening.